and today I'm coming to you all to speak about Married to Medicine Season 8. And I don't want to focus too much on what happened on the episode. More importantly, I wanted to go over the history between Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. You all know that they had been friends for over 20 years when they got into it, which was on Season 5 of Married to Medicine. And at that time when Dr. Heavenly came onto the show, if you all remember, Dr. Simone stated that she had been cool with Heavenly for 9 years at that point, which would make 13 years till this day. So there was a behind the scene relationship and even a prior relationship between Dr. Simone and Dr. Heavenly, and obviously Dr. Jackie as well prior to this show, and behind the scenes, of course. So during the time that Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone started getting into it, it was around 2017. And it was a whole lot going on. A lot of people are focusing, saying that Dr. Simone has a problem with Jackie being friends with Dr. Heavenly. But I think that it's a little bit deeper than that and more levels to the story. So during that year, they did start beefing. And then Dr. Jackie was having that issue with Curtis, where his mistress at the time had came out and let her story be known. So they had begun the season with that episode. And so Dr. Jackie had all of that going on with Curtis. And then we also had Dr. Simone over here on the other side, and she had her issues going on with Cecil, where he was taking money out of their account and investing it wherever he wanted to. And he also had that longtime friend, which I don't even understand how she was in the picture for so long. But either way, he had the friend that Dr. Simone felt like caused a rift within their relationship. And if she didn't cause a rift within their relationship, it wasn't helping to make it any better. So we had Dr. Cecil investing their money however he wanted to invest it. And he felt like, he was doing that because Simone had bought a Maserati. So they both had relationship issues going on at the same time when they started to fall apart. So, of course, Dr. Jackie was very humiliated about what had went on with Curtis. Everybody was talking about it all over the internet. All of the girls was talking about it. Even Mariah came out and told a story about infidelity in her relationship with her husband. So you all know that Dr. Jackie had pretty much blocked everybody out at that point. I don't know if Dr. Heavenly was behind the scenes speaking with her. I figured that she may have been, but we was not seeing too much of Simone supporting her at that time. Was Simone there behind the scenes to support her during that time? I don't remember seeing many scenes during that season where she was there consoling her. And I feel like maybe Dr. Heavenly was. I know she had gone to meet up with her at one point, and probably behind the scenes as well, she was seeing her maybe during that time. But Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone was beefing, so they wouldn't have been talking to each other. So it just was a whole lot that went on in that year besides Dr. Heavenly disrupting their relationship. Now, the fact that they had known each other so long prior to the show, even though Jackie and Simone have been friends for 20 years, Dr. Heavenly states that she is the better friend to Dr. Jackie. They all got together at Heavenly's house for the event, and we have Heavenly, telling Dr. Simone that I told you that I'm sorry and I'm not going to tell you no more or whatever. And y'all know that Toya was drunk. So she was like, y'all faked it out during the reunion. Y'all was rolling on the floor, acting like we're friends, knowing that y'all were not. So if you go back over the seasons, you will see that Dr. Heavenly has always been throwing blows at Dr. Simone. And not just her individually, but she does that to everybody. And I guess because she's so close to her best friend, was her best friend at the time, Dr. Jackie, she gets a whole lot of the blows. Because they was on live one time and they were talking about it, and Dr. Heavenly was like, I got to come with the good stuff. I got to give the people something good to watch and stuff. But, that was a while ago. So I guess as it went on, Dr. Simone took a whole lot of stuff serious. Like, she was making jokes about her husband and stuff. And when she did that little game they was playing on the beach, you know, she was saying that Cecil needed to get a job on Twitter and all that different kind of stuff. And I believe it was Watch What Happens Live. She was being sarcastic because they was talking about people's breath. Their beef had made it all the way to social media. Dr. Simone used to be the very loud one, which she is still loud, but she's not so much confrontational like she used to be. Dr. Heavenly has definitely taken that position, which is why I stated that Dr. Simone has been demoted within the friendship. And the fact that Heavenly may have known her for a lesser time, but has grown closer. Heavenly apologizes, and then she still goes on to make comments, such as on the new episode where she was like, yeah, I have a near perfect relationship. We have sex on the regular. Now, that was a shot towards Simone because you know that her and Dr. Cecil was not sexually involved for a little while during their relationship scandal. So, as I stated, I think there is a more dynamic spectrum to the whole issue with Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie. And Heavenly, as I stated, was there before as a friend to Jackie, I imagine, years ago. And so they have built a bond. So should it supersede her feelings towards Dr. Simone? If a person starts to feel like another person is a better friend, and they think that mentally their actions will show it, knowingly or unknowingly. And that's just what Dr. Simone had to deal with for the last few years. Dr. Jackie standing there while Dr. Heavenly just goes in. So, you don't have to believe me. All you have to do is take a trip down memory lane. And so, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. The different dynamics between what's going on with Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, from their relationship issues that they were facing at the time they got into it, as well as maybe closeting themselves due to those things, or out of shame, or whatever it may have been amongst them. Dr. Jackie may have never stated that Dr. Heavenly was such a good friend to her, maybe more so than Dr. Simone, until the reunion. So her actions were showing it to Dr. Simone the whole time, although her words did not. So, what do you guys think about Season 8, Episode 1, Married to Medicine? Like, comment, share, and subscribe to Famous Reality TV.